Hey everybody, this is the Instagram Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman, and this is the third episode in our four-part series about Instagram ads and how to do them right. So what we're going to talk about on this episode is what kind of creative works for Instagram ads. Here comes episode 95. Facebook Ads with a Twang is dedicated to taking the often overcomplicated process of creating simple, successful Facebook ads, breaking them down step by step in less than 10 minutes at a time. Let's get started. Welcome everybody to episode 95, and we're going to be talking about Instagram ad creative. Now, just a few minutes ago, and you might still hear my dog was she was just going to town on something over there, and when I looked over, it was a pair of socks that Facebook had sent me with the Instagram logo on. They send me, swag or whatever. Anyway, she was just going to town on it, and I thought, how fitting. I wish I could have gotten a picture of that, because that would have made a great image for an ad, right? Her chewing up some Instagram ad socks. That would have been awesome. Anyway, let's talk about ad creative. And ad creative is massively important, right? I mean, it just is. You can have all the targeting in the world. If your creative stinks, you're going to have a tough time. So the first thing I want to talk about are images versus videos. And so, yeah, videos are great, right? But I will tell you, for the most part, and part of it depends on what you're promoting too, right? It's not one size fits all. But if you're doing anything, you're doing any kind of coaching, service-based business and stuff like that, images, you're trying to get people in your opt-in, you're trying to do webinars, you're trying to do challenges, whatever it is, images still work better than videos as a whole. I mean, they just do. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to use images. But here's the deal with images. Think about the context of when people are scrolling down an Instagram ad feed versus Facebook. See, with Facebook, it's real copy heavy, right? You can see the copy and real easily in the headline and those kinds of things. With Instagram, you can't see that. I mean, it's hard to see. It's not right in front of you. The image stands out more than anything. And so the image really has to tell the story to get them to click. So I really encourage people to put text over their image for that purpose, so that they can give the people an idea of what the heck it is that you're talking about and what they're clicking on. If you choose not to, and you just use a super compelling image, then you're going to get a ton of erroneous clicks. That's just what happens. So one of the best things that you can do is give them that context, so that when they see the image and it says, 5-day Instagram ads challenge for coaches, or whatever it says, then you're going to be getting the right people to click on it. I'd rather have fewer clicks and those be the right clicks than more clicks and them not be. And there's lots of reasons for that, but I hope that makes sense. Just remember that you still have to abide by the 20% text rule. You can't have more than 20% text on your image. I mean, technically you could probably put 25 and sometimes even 30 and it works, but 20% is the actual rule. And then the other thing is that an Instagram ad lends itself to be a square. So a 1-to-1 ratio, right? So you just want to make your ad square. So 1-to-1 with a minimum of 500 by 500 pixels. That's what it's supposed to be. What I use is 1,000 by 1,000. I don't know why. That's just what I've always used. I don't know why. So just bear that in mind. And I just want to say one more thing. I don't want you to think that there's not a place for video, because there is. We're just not talking about it in this particular episode. All right. I'll probably address that on some kind of future episode. So the next thing is ad copy. The number one thing you can do to improve your ads relevancy score with your ads and everything is by making your copy sharper and more focused on your ideal clients. I mean, that's the number one thing. Okay, so if you're not great at copy, or you're just learning how to do copy or something like that, you definitely want to become a student of it, because it'll help your business across the board, right? So you can use a method. It's called problem, agitate, solve. It's an old school method. It still works. It's worked ever since copy started. And so it's real simple. You state what the problem is, right? Then you kind of talk about the problem. You kind of go into detail about it, and then you solve the problem, right? It's that simple. But just remember, with Instagram ads, you only have 2,200 characters. with Facebook, like, you can put in virtually an unlimited number of characters, right? Instagram's not like that. You've got 2,200 characters to work with. That includes spaces, that includes emojis. That's everything top to bottom. So make sure that your copy is on point. Now, a lot of you guys won't get to 2,200 characters. Me, I love long copy, so I do. I almost always have to cut my copy down. But, just bear that in mind. So the other thing, now, and that's all you really need to know about images and copy, and I'm going to come back to something else on Instagram stories in just a second. So hashtags. You don't have to use hashtags in your ads. The thing about hashtags and links, like if you put a link to your landing page or whatever, those won't be clickable. So it doesn't really matter if you put those in your ad or not, because you can't click them anyway. And you can't search by hashtags and get the ads anyway. It doesn't work like that. So the only exception is if you customarily use hashtags on your Facebook post, on your Instagram posts, then yeah, go ahead and put them in your ads, because you just want to be consistent. It's more about consistency than anything else, right? But other than that, you don't need to worry, and you don't need to go hashtag crazy, because it doesn't really work that way. So the last thing I wanted to mention was Instagram stories. Now, when you're running ads, you can't run ads and only select Instagram stories as a placement. You have to select the Instagram feed, and then you can also add Instagram stories. When you're actually doing the story, and most people don't do this, okay? But Instagram stories are massively powerful. So when you go and you upload your ad, in the ad level, you can actually customize what the Instagram story looks like. So it'll actually you'll take the image and it'll give you a couple of different templates that you can click on. It's super simple. Remember, in stories, they don't see all the copy anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you really have to abbreviate your copy. It's just a really short headline and then kind of a short blurb about what it's about. But the dynamic of the ad really helps you get a lot of clicks and really helps convey your message quickly and easily. And once Instagram Stories starts really working for you, you'll just love them. So I encourage you, when you go to first start running your Instagram ads, leave the Instagram Stories placement selected and then customize it at the ad level. Okay, you'll see it when you get there. When you're uploading the image, right after you have the image there and stuff, it talks about customizing it, and you just click on that and it's easy. You can also add regardless of how many followers you have on Instagram, you can add a swipe up to the Instagram stories. So that'll be in there as well. So that's it. That's all you need to know about Instagram Ad Creative. And what we're going to be talking about on episode 96 is that I'm going to talk to you about how to fix your Instagram ads if they're not working. All right? So I'll see you over there on the other side. Talk to you soon.